G'day, it's Trev from Trev's Bushcraft. Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at how to get a bush block and make it something where we can actually grow food. G'day, it's Trev. Today we're going to be talking about hugelkultur piles. So if you're somebody that's getting into permaculture, this is for you. Alright, so what we've got here is a bunch of ground. So about 2 years ago I went through and pH tested the soil. It was terrible. By terrible I mean 4.5 pH. Super acidic, right? You're never going to grow fruit in pH 4.5. What does that mean, Trev? Amazing question. I don't know why you didn't ask earlier. pH is the measurement between acidic, neutral and alkaline, right? So 6 to 7 is kind of neutral. Right, down in the 4s and the 5s, that's acidic. And once you go sort of 7.5, 8, 9, that's definitely alkaline. Right? Now, why it's important is this. If your soil isn't at the right pH, your plants cannot eat the nutrients. Full stop. Fertilize as much as you want, they will not be able to access it. pH is literally the key to the lock, right, that unlocks the nutrients. Now what I want to show you today is this. We're going to get started over here. Who is a handsome man in Ozstealth camo pants? I love these and I'm not just saying. So here's an old trick. Tuck your pants into your boots, right, especially like now. So what this means is now spiders can't climb up and get me, and more importantly for right now, the big bull ants. Our bull ants here are as big as a matchstick. The bull ants can't get me. So what I've done is I've pH adjusted the soil. We're going to show you in the video how to pH adjust the soil. Did that about 2 years ago. I put gypsum and stuff to break up all the clay. It was very clay soil. Now I've busted it up a bit. But you can see now the soil is quite friable, meaning you can break it up. So now what I've done is I've dug some trenches next to my trees. I've got a lot of pear trees and apple trees, right? And so what I've done is I've dug some trenches, put down some newspaper, and now I'm just going to fill it with sticks and leaves, and then I'm just going to backfill the soil all over it. Now I know that the pH is good. I know that the soil's already been loosened up a fair bit. The gypsum's done its job over the last year or two. Right, now it's time to push it all in. It's got some sheep dags there, that's wool and the poo from around sheep's bums. Right, so now all of this can start growing. So this is literally what's known as a swale. As it rains, the water will all wash through here. It'll become like its own little sort of creek bed. Right, and all these trees will like sit there and all grow out, and then they'll all help each other grow. Pretty cool, eh? So big thanks to Ozstealth. One of the things I wanted to mention too is I hate zips that die. These zips won't die. So anyone that's ever been around long enough knows YKK makes the best zips in the world. Strong, breathable, lightweight, but it feels like it feels sexy. To be honest with you, it feels sexy. If you go into my sponsor, Global Weapon Systems, 1523 Sydney Road, Campbellfield, right, say good day to the Peters, tell them Trevor sent you, say good day to Marty, right, and just feel these. Feel them and say, can I try a pair on? I've heard these are good. And look, like I say, try doing that with your regular work pants. Love this. And a huge project to say the least. This is the famous block Pinky Point. This is where they discovered the gold that started the Ararat Gold Rush. So it was 170 years ago, 1853. It was the largest alluvial gold mine in the world at the time. So it was quite large, something like 10,000 people they estimate were just in these hills all around here, just camped in like canvas tents, and they were all digging by hand and digging shafts. So everything's been turned over, all the topsoil would have gone. When I bought the block, the pH was 4.5. I'm going to show you how to do a pH test. I've got hugelkultur piles built up all over the whole farm. So by hand I collected, if I counted them, it would have been hundreds of thousands of sticks. turned them all into piles, put soil on them all. I've put lime to increase the pH because it was very acidic. So pH down there is acidic, up there, so like 4, 5, stuff like that, that's acidic. Up here, 8, 9, 10, that's alkaline. You want it neutral in the middle, somewhere like that, if you're going to try and grow. So what I've done is I've dug some trenches, I've put some newspaper in there, and now we're up to the last part of this. So this is a cheats version of hugelkultur. So I've got what's called sheep dags. So this is the wool that comes from around the inside of the legs and the bum from the sheep, and that's why it's still got poo attached to it. So we've got newspapers. We're going to throw some old newspapers in there. We're going to throw some wool and some dags. Now this is crossbreed merino, right? So I get these, I do little swappies and favours and things like that, and I get a hold of the dags. That's going to take about 2 years for that to biodegrade. It's a really good structure for worms to sit there and lay their little eggs, their little castings in, so that they can make more little wormies. And obviously that sheep manure is going to bust down. Other stuff that we're going to do is we're going to look around and we're going to throw in sticks. Whatever sticks we've got that are just laying about, we're going to throw them in there too. Going to get a rake. Whatever we can find basically near this hole is going in. So according to Australia's CSIRO, they say if you get 1 square metre, and if you can increase the carbon content, which is leaves and stuff, if you can increase that carbon content by 1% per square metre, that's 16 litres of water per year that's now not going to need. Now they recommend for farms you do it something like 4% or 5%. That's going to mean just for this 1 square metre here, that's going to be 50 or 60 litres a year that little bit there's not going to need. Now you add it all up, when it starts coming out to here and it all starts doing its magic, and soon you're going to see we're making it much, much, much easier to grow. So other things I've done is I've added gypsum into the ground and I've watered it in over the last 2 years, and that's already helping to break this down. This was rock hard. 3 years ago, you could barely dig a hole in here. Now, look at that, right? Now you can start breaking this up and it's becoming what's called friable, right? It still needs a bit of body, it needs a bit of colour in there, but other things that we're going to do is we're going to add biota. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cheats method of fertiliser. Got a 1,000 litre water tank, going to fill it with water. I'm going to put a $4 bag of compost in there, and as you see on the back of the bag it says all about enzymes and things. Oh, be careful, wear a mask, wear gloves, blah blah blah, contains live organisms. I'm going to breed those. 36 degrees today. I'm going to get a 1,000 litre water tank, and I'm going to brew basically compost tea for about 3 weeks, and then I'm going to water it into all of here. And that's actually going to put, the same way that we put yogurt or probiotics in our stomach, that's going to put live cultures into the soil and get the biome to start growing again. These are all the tricks that we're going to use. My plan is within about 5 more years, which will be about 8 years tops, that this whole farm, my farm Pinky Point in the Grampians in Victoria, becomes a fruit forest. Still lots of native trees and things like that everywhere, lots of fruit. And the idea is that I can share this with the nature, and the rest I can sell to tourists as jam and chutneys and pickles and preserves and spices. Rightio. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a pH test. Are you ready? It's pretty simple. All we need is a sample of our soil. Then we're going to need just a few drops of the green mixture. We give it a little whiz around in the dirt there. Then what we do is we shake a bit of that powder on, and we just wait a little minute, and we see what colour it's going to come up with. So I can already see in that colour there that's about 5.5. So that's still a bit low. So that means I've got to add a bit of lime to that soil if I want it to grow good. When it's coming up 6.5 or 7 or something like that, that's when I know it's really nice and neutral. So here I am in Magic's incredible hothouse. Magic, it's just something magic. It's just crazy, like, what people create from others people's hard rubbish and stuff. You just get some windows, you know, you might need a little bit of new timber or second-hand timber. Beautiful, beautiful red bricks. And the next thing you know, you're growing, and it's warm, like it's lovely in here, isn't it?
And I've had it open all night.
Amazing. This is Magic.